Hey, Ted Penesis. Hey, Ted Penesis.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm trying to had a little relapse. I've been running around a lot after getting the flu last week and just
Oh, yeah.
trying to recover here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking a little peaked.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I
I'm
hope
running
you'll
around too
start feeling
much.
good. Good what?
I mean, I feel better. I haven't given it
Yeah.
to and
Yeah.
I'm done with the flu. It's just the fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think this time of year fatigues me just normally.
right.
I'm sure I'm a victim of the seasonal affective disorder,
Yeah.
but
So
it's
are you there in the
looking
room?
better except out my window. No, I am not. I'm at home.
Okay, I wonder if we're gonna have a quorum.
I don't know. Don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
I see that David was signed up, and we might have had I come down, but it's not looking good here. And I don't think there's anything in the. There was one resolution. I don't know that it's critical, and I don't think that there. I don't know if there's any reason that it couldn't go right to finance or whoever it needs to go to. Just
How
moving
much
over
snow do you
without.
get up there?
It's not a lot. Maybe it's snowing now, and then it was blowing pretty hard.
Yeah.
That's what I was concerned about. It's pretty light stuff, so it's probably 2 inches, maybe.
That's about what we got.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to say. It was the roads were kind of clear this morning when I started getting ready to go, and I looked out and said, "Nah." Looked at I called Mavis, looked at the agenda. It didn't look like it was anything critical
No,
or anything couldn't be handled. It's just that one
right.
rural energy thing. I see someone is Mavis is calling me. I'll see you later.
Yeah, it seems like our typical. Actually, it's pretty with Walnuts, four different things there. Looks like it could go pretty long. I got to get a new roof so I could get that solar going after Trump's out of office. So get the incentives back.
Can you? You have to wait for him to get. We have to get another set of legislative things going, right? Then he kill everything?
Exactly. I mean, I
Yeah.
my roof is like about and listening to I forget his name, the guy who um is our energy.
Arnie Schramm?
What's the name?
Arnie Schramm.
Yes. He's like, if
Big
your
guy.
roof is 15 years old, don't get it. My roof is probably 15 to 20. I gotta
Yeah.
check some receipts. So I gotta get a new roof anyway.
Yeah.
I'll do
That's
that
when I
within
did
the
mine
next
about 5 years
3 years.
ago. Mine was about 20 years old, and everybody else in the neighborhood replaced theirs. I got a ranch with a bunch of higher roofs around, so they were deteriorating a little faster, I guess. But
Uh-huh.
mine was looking fine, but it was down to the last couple of years, I'm guessing.
Well, your house is probably like 20 years old, right?
25 probably,
Yeah. Yeah.
26. So I had
I
it
got a,
done 5 years ago.
I got a friend that lives not too far away from you, a couple of blocks away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does he live?
I can't remember the street, but it's like
Yeah.
a couple blocks away from you. Joe Volpe is his name.
Uh-huh.
I'll get you in
Yeah.
touch
East
with him
side,
at
west
some
side?
point. What's that?
He's in my district. Yeah. Why am I
Oh,
not
he's
seeing him
definitely in
come
your
up?
district because he only lives a couple of blocks away.
Yeah.
He knows you. I've told you about it. I've told him about you, so he's a
Yeah.
good Democrat. No.
Yeah. How do you spell his last name?
Volpe. Volpe. Joey. Joseph. I call him Joey because I knew him when I was like in
Joey?
kindergarten and all the way up to 8th grade.
Joey?
Joe. He goes by
Yeah.
Joe though.
Yeah.
He's a nurse at Heinz, VA. Going to be retiring soon.
Hmm.
Let's see what we got in the room here.
Well, if David shows up, there would be a quorum with me. It's
Yeah.
Mavis and me and Roth, but you only need
I
4.
don't see him.
But I can't make it now.
Yeah, I don't see David.
No, I don't either. But he signed up for speak.
Oh, really? Well, then maybe he'll be there.
Well, maybe, but
Weather probably
he could
slowed
speak.
down a
That's
little.
fine. Hmm. Yeah, when I was younger, I would jump into the car and go play. What'd you say his last name was? Volpe? Volpe?
Yes, correct.
Hmm. Oh,
Good morning.
expected.
Welcome to today's King County Energy and Environmental Committee meeting. Today is Friday, January 16th. The time is 9 o'clock exactly. I would like to thank our intrepid members here for braving the cold and the ice. Good morning, David. Mr. Young is here. Please call the roll.
Allen. Caius.
Guys
Hennessis.
online.
Penis online.
Strathman.
Strathman remote.
Young. Tarver. Bates.
Thank you.
Gotta call me
The
too.
quorum now.
Roth.
Roth is
Now we
here.
do.
How did we get a quorum?
Need one for Roth.
But
Not a
1,
quorum.
2, 3.
We just have 3 right now.
Quorum,
And
yeah.
Ellen shows will be
Okay,
quorum.
Miss Allen is on her way and we will have a quorum so we can vote on our resolution. Remote attendance,
You have to cover that once you get a quorum.
Yeah, we
get
have
a
to have a quorum
quorum.
to do
Thank
that.
you, Mr. State's Attorney Office. May I have a motion to approve?
Can't until we have quorum.
Oh, public comment,
That you can do.
Mr. Young. That we could do without a quorum.
Speak for 10 minutes.
Yes.
Madam Chair, do we have permission to be remote?
Yeah, we can't vote until we
We
have
can't
quorum.
vote until Deb Allen gets here.
They can't vote on remote attendance until we have a quorum in the
Oh.
room.
Okay, thank you.
If you can talk if the chair so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay,
You ready?
yes, Mr. Young, please go
Dave.
ahead.
Okay, David Young. I never thought I would be excited to talk about one of JB Pritzker's bills that he signed. But January 8th, 2026, JB Pritzker signed the Clean and Reliable Grid Affordability Act. This lifts the moratorium on new large-scale nuclear reactors. That's so great news. And so now Illinois is going to be ready to accept and use small nuclear reactors as well as large nuclear reactors. And there are billionaires getting involved now with this whole thing. So obviously JB Pritzker he's probably one of the richest men in the world. So he's now involved as the governor, signing that into legislation. Did you hear about, I mentioned this a couple meetings ago, but Bill Gates is now all on board with nuclear energy. He has a company that's called TerraPower, and it uses nuclear fission as a technology. So why does he support nuclear? Why does Bill Gates support nuclear? He says the following. Number one, it's clean and reliable. It provides massive energy without greenhouse gases. Two, it's not weather dependent. Think about this today. There's no way you're getting any energy out of a solar panel or even wind. There's hardly any wind. Three, it's innovative. Gates wants the U.S. to lead in this innovation. Today, I read that the total money raised for TerraPower is $1.46 billion. And Meta, the Facebook company, Meta is going to receive 2 of the Natrium reactors as early as 2032, with an additional 8 to be delivered as early as 2035. And did you hear about Trump Media? Trump Media merged with a company called TAE Technologies. Trump, obviously another billionaire. Bill Gates, a billionaire. Trump merged with TAE Technologies. Their technology is nuclear fusion. The other company's is nuclear fission. So the TAE Technologies is nuclear fusion. Why are they doing this? Data centers. Trump says that every data center should have its own power plant. How are they going to do that? They're going to do this with these small nuclear reactors. Okay. The third company, which I've mentioned before, like 3 years ago, is a company called NuScale. NuScale is going to be
Spell that.
NuScale. They're going to have Tennessee Valley Authority is going to have a 6 gigawatt power SMR from NuScale by 2030. So we can talk about this later. Thank you.
Okay. Environmental, Ms. Wolnick.
Thank you. We have a speaker today, Grace, who is online she's a solar outreach coordinator from the Citizens Utility Board. She's going to present on Kane County's progress and the Solar Switch Together program, as well as the Heat Pump Group by Pilot program.
Hello, Ms. Cancialdi. Is that about right?
Yes, that's perfect. Hi, how are you all today?
And Grace, if you could just let our IT department know when to advance your slides, that would be fantastic. And it might take them a second to pull them up.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you all for having me today. I also have Fred here with me today, who is with iChooser, the program administrator, and then Yvonne, Jeff, and Corey, who are with MREA, who lead the program with the Citizens Utility Board.
So we're waiting for the slides. No slides from Grace? Does anybody have Grace's slides?
Weren't they in the packet?
There's on page 5, there's energy environmental update.
Oh, that's the Kane DuPage.
What is it?
Main DuPage. Yeah. Oh, that's the next presentation.
Great. Grace, did you send in your slides?
I did. I sent them to Sarah. Yes.
Do we have an address? she
Yeah,
send
could
them to?
you email them to our IT? Cash, could you give her your email?
Oh, here comes Sarah. Sarah,
Yes,
you were sent the slides for today?
Grace has them, the slides for today. Who's
Okay.
our guest speaker. I apologize. Every parent in the world was dropping their kid off from snow today. So I was in that.
Ms.
circle for a long
Ms.
time.
Bates, we do have Kane DuPage here, so we could jump her ahead in the.
Okay, Grace, we're going to put our other speaker on for a few minutes and then we'll get your slides ready while Kat Gertz gives her talk about soil.
All right, perfect. Thank you, guys.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair, for allowing us to come and speak with you today. I'm going to give you just a little bit of an update on what is going on with the Kane DuPage Soil and Water Conservation District. I'm going to start with our natural resource inventories. For those of you who are not familiar, the districts all over the country, and particularly here in the Illinois area, we are mandated by law to do natural resource inventories on any property that will be changing land use. So for instance, something that's going from ag into a solar farm, we do a natural resources inventory in advance of that project. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a natural resource inventory. We look at the soil, we look at the water, we look at the wildlife, the flora. We even go so far as to look at archaeological possibilities on the site. And we generate a report that's about 30 pages. I'm happy to demonstrate that for you at some point. But what I brought today was a slide for December of 2025 and the natural resource inventories that we did in Kane County. Bunch those up kind of in categories just so you can see what the land use was, what it is proposed to move to, where it is located in a general sense, and the acres of disturbance that are planned. So it might be a 300-acre piece of property, but if they're only disturbing 45 acres, that is the area that we will be looking at. So this is a summary of what we did in December in Kane County. So you can see ag to solar primary. We didn't have any data center proposals in the month of December. We had one residential ag to single family and one vacant to a storage depot that we did. Okay, any
This
questions?
was 1 month.
So this is 1 month. Yes, this is December. It's a lot. Happy to provide you all of 2025 if you'd like to see it. It would be many slides, but I'm happy to provide that if you'd like. That makes sense? Any questions on that? Okay. All right. I know that Austin's planning to talk a little bit further about this. We did distribute 3 checks so far for the not for the farm weatherization. We're not weatherizing farmers, we're weatherizing farms. And I'm sure he'll talk more. Wanted to update you on annually, we do a soil erosion and sediment control seminar. We currently have 120 registrants for this year's event, which is focusing on green infrastructure. We have several case studies speaking from around the county, well, for counties for us. We also include DuPage. And we look forward to having a really great discussion. This is for professional development credits. So these people will get credits. We partner with the IEPA to put on this program. You are welcome to attend if you would like. We also offer scholarships. So if we look at some of the things that we do as a district, we offer scholarships in the environmental realm to students around the county. Applications are due on the 15th. We also offer well water testing once a year. We offer a collaborative event with the Farm Bureau where you can pick up your well water tests from us, and then we send it out to a lab and provide you your report back once they have done their tests. That will be in March. We also do fish sales. So if you have a pond on your property that you would like to keep healthy, we do sell fish once a year to stock those ponds.
Where do you get your fish?
From a fish farm in Indiana. And it's quite an amusing day. They show up with a truck full of fish and they go fishing in their little boxes full of water and fish and pull out. You ordered 20 bluegill, you get 20 bluegill in a bag of water and air. It's quite an amusing day. You can see the bags that get distributed in the photo there. We also have a native plant and tree sale. We do this twice annually, once in the spring and once in the fall. I'm currently working on our catalog for that. It is all native plants that are intended for environmental improvement. We as a state and as a nation do something called Envirothon, and this is an annual event of high school aged kids that come together to compete on 5 topics. They're doing aquatics, forestry, soils, and wildlife, and every year there's a wild card. This year's wild card topic is non-point source pollution. It begins at home. So these kids will put together a presentation in teams of 5 to discuss this particular topic. And there are judges. One school wins and goes to state. State wins and goes to nationals. The winner at nationals gets scholarship money. We do need sponsors for that, by the way, if anybody wants to go ahead, and it's expensive to put on these kinds of events. The last thing I'd like to plug is that we are an elected board of officials. We have a board of directors, and our election is currently in process. Any candidates that would like to submit a petition to be on our board are due January 21st. Our election day is February 10th. Please come out and vote. Take a look at our slate of candidates. It's available on our website, and then come out and vote. It's pretty obscure. I would love to get this to be out there more because it's not an election unless people vote. And we would like to be representative of our constituency. So a couple of items there. And that's all I have for today.
I'm going to make a comment before I take questions. I just remembered that survey you asked me to do, Kat,
Yes.
and Ms. Gertz, and I said, I don't really know what you guys do. And I believe that's why, part of why you're here today. So,
The best kept secret in the state of Illinois, right, is what soil and water conservation districts do, which is really a shame because one of the, as a business person, when you do a business plan, we have an act that mandates our existence, but does not provide us with funding. Hooray, there's a wonderful business plan for you. So we do get some support from the IDOA, and we go out and we sell plants and fish and well water tests, and we do NRIs, and we do soil erosion sediment control, and we try to, keep ourselves afloat. I will not become a Rockefeller working here, but I believe in what we're doing, and I believe that more of our constituents need to understand what it is that we do so that they can participate, so that they can run for our board, and so that they can vote.
thank you, Mr. Roth.
Roth here. I have a question about the plant sale. Do you have a date for the spring one?
We will open in March, the end of March. We'll open the catalog up, and then the trees deliver separately. Trees and shrubs will come in first, and then the plants come in right around.
It's
Mother's Day.
online ordering.
Yes. Yes, you
Okay,
can
and then-
pre-order, and then the extra plants we have are available, whatever might be left. You can take your
Okay,
chances.
and you would go to your office to pick them up, or
Pick
would
them
you?
up, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are in St. Charles on Dean Street.
Okay. If you could send out a notice maybe to,
Absolutely, yes.
and then I would recommend we pass that on to all the board members. There's a lot of,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Young.
David Young.
This is Alan.
Yes, Mrs. Allen.
A question on the
Sorry, Mr.
on the
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
on the studies that you did on the changes of land use. Can you describe what you came up with? What were you looking for, and what were your results?
Okay, the report is about 30 pages long, and we cover things from what the soil types are there. We do both a computer analysis, and we go out and physically take a look at the land. So we do photos, and we do an assessment on site, as well as looking at things like web soil survey, different GIS tools. We look at wetlands, we look at waterways, we look at soil types. We will do a categorization of the things that are growing there, the things that are living there. We look at watersheds, what watersheds are they in, and what kind of plants are around those watersheds. So it is an all-encompassing report. I'm happy to share one with you. It is obviously public information, and we can provide you with a full report of a project here in Kane County.
Okay, thank you.
And your report is to guide the new owner in how to place buildings so as to avoid wetlands, or to make sure that the water has a flow into a catch basin, or your goal in doing all of this is to help the new owner make the safest use of his property?
The goal is to provide the applicant and their engineers and developers with the information that they need to make good decisions about what they're doing on the property. So is the soil
Okay.
appropriate for the use that they're proposing? What do they need to do in regards to wetlands? Yes, that is exactly what we're doing.
Are you doing it before the sale goes through? So in case there's something, that, suppose somebody wants to drop in a building and the mitigation that they need to do is too expensive, would that end the proposed closing because the circumstance? In other words, are you doing this before a closing or after?
Generally, the applications come in at the time of the zoning change request.
Okay, so
Ms.
it's smart
Ba-
buyers.
for- Yeah, Miss Allen, this is Jody Walnick. I would just, these are the reports that the board does see as part of our zoning process. So when you're seeing the solar projects and everything, Kane DuPage's report is included in that packet that the board sees.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Mr. Young?
David Young, when I looked at this report, one of the things that I noticed obviously was page 6, we're going to go from ag to solar, and there was about 300 acres of solar panel fields. Just doing a quick, I use Copilot. How much energy that's going to produce is about 12 megawatts of power of those 300 acres.
No, it'd be more than that, because 8 acres is 2 meg.
Okay, well, that's what I had gotten from
How many acres?
there was 300 acres here, right?
300 acres, yeah. About
300 acres of solar panels, roughly add all those up,
60 megawatt, I think,
16, say it's 16 megawatt,
60.
60,
60.
60 megawatts. Okay. So Copilot was wrong. Man, I'll have to send them an email. So 60 megawatts. Okay. Well, I looked at the same Copilot said that the Aurora data centers, just the Aurora data centers, will require 150 megawatts of power. The 9 that I think there's total of 9 coming through. So that goes back to my public comment is that you can't have enough solar panels because that 150 megawatts of power that's required is continuous power. Today, you get no power out of a solar panel. You just don't. So it's just something that we as a community really need to start thinking about how we're going to get this power once these data centers go live. How are we going to get this power? And then also just the cost of power. I mean, and just the amount of real estate, you have to get 300 acres, right? 300 acres is only 60 megawatts. That's amazing. So let's start thinking like that, because the good news is that Illinois is making a turnaround now, because they want to have industry back. Illinois used to be one of the top places for this, but anyway, that's not part of it. I just wanted to point out during this slide, what's relevant to this slide is that it's 60 megawatts, but we need a lot more than that with these data centers. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
That's not 300.
Just scalable, Mavis.
What?
The Batavia data center was 20 megawatts scaling up to 50 to give you a concept of the one that was proposed here locally.
How many?
20 scaling up to 50.
20 up.
It's close to 300. I didn't.
Jody, did that get approved?
How many acres is that? That's not 300. That's 55, 70, 100, 180. That's like 200.
Well, it's worse then. Then it's even
Yeah,
worse.
Yeah, it's well over 150 acres to your point.
Okay, but it's even worse because I thought it was 300. I was doing this yesterday, last night when I was tired. So we need to think about how we're gonna power our homes with these data centers coming online, because the data centers are coming, and the data centers are coming because the billionaires want the data centers coming. So that's just it. How are we going to power it and how are we going to have power?
Okay, thank you for bringing this up. This is a very huge, it is huge. It's like the hanging over our heads, hanging over everybody's heads.
And it's not political. I mean, both sides are going in.
It's happening. And Sarah and Austin are going to be bringing data centers to us. We have an expert speaker. Do we know when that's going to happen?
Not at this time, but yes, I will continue.
Okay, could we have them for February?
I will absolutely try my best.
We're trying to get a data center expert for our February guest speaker. This is very huge, and Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus has just created a new task force to study this issue. And it's bigger than all of us put together, that's for sure. So
yeah, thank you. One more thing, I know that be part of the goals. I think that Sarah was going to talk about here in the next slide, where kind of the goals for the Energy and Environmental Committee for the year, and one of those was bringing new and emerging technologies to that was one of the things you had.
Yeah.
We need to have someone come in and talk about these small nuclear reactors to this committee,
Okay.
so that we can understand timeline. I mean, I don't even know what else is involved with these, but it's just something that we should be involved with.
Yeah, the problem is they're not commercially viable yet.
I don't know that.
But we could have somebody come and tell us if they are or if they aren't. Mr. Gripe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's fascinating to me. My son-in-law actually ran the solar panel operation for the southern half of Illinois until he moved to Wisconsin. Now he's working on the same thing up there. But what's interesting to me is that, solar is not going to keep up with that. Nothing's going to keep up with that. And my concern is, I don't know that this committee can do anything about it, but the prices we're all paying because they're sucking so much energy, ComEd and everybody else is having to buy electricity from Iowa, Wisconsin, every place else, which is why our rates are going through the ceiling. So I don't know what we can do because we can't stop the data centers. Don't know that we want to, but I don't understand. So having a presentation is good, but we need to figure out what we can do. And because I've tried to get solar credits on my electric bill, they're gone. They're just not available. So darn for me. So I think there's other discussions. This is great.
Well, let's get our cub lady out here in a second, and then she'll talk to us about solar.
Good.
So let's rein in the discussion of data centers till next month. Mr. Shepro.
Yes, I just had a question about the free well testing. Is that available to any well that's in the county, or does it have to be?
I'm sorry, I thought you said free will.
I did too.
Free well testing.
Oh, I did too.
Free will.
Free well testing. I'm sorry. I'm Free Willie.
Oh, here.
WEL.
Okay,
Just
start
to
over.
interject as well.
Okay.
It's not
All
free.
right. There was a comment made about the availability of a testing of your water well on an annual basis without charge.
That's not free.
It's not free.
It is not
Okay.
free.
All right. So one is what's the cost, and is that available through the district for only unincorporated Kane County, or is it any well that might be in an incorporated municipality?
It is for any well in our district, which would be Kane or DuPage counties. It does not matter where they reside in that area. And there is a fee depending upon which test they select.
Is there a range? I mean,
There's two different tests available. One is a basic that cut and covers a range of things, kind of a big bucket. And then you can also do heavy metals tests separately. So all that information, the pricing is on our website.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions about soil?
A quick whatever. Free Willy question. Is there a test you guys can do for efficacy of the well?
For what?
Efficacy of the well.
efficacy. In other words, like we have a well, you know, is it going to last? How is it doing? Is it
Their water.
almost, yeah, is it not? Well, just, is it going to be able to produce water or is it running out? That kind of thing.
We do not run that with this well test. We do recommend that you do testing with a well company and get your maintenance done on a regular basis.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gertz.
Thank
We
you.
are smarter than we were before.
Maybe it's just one quick.
Go
one.
ahead.
The Chicago Tribune on Sunday had a big article on data centers and electric use. Yeah, I
Okay,
can try to find it and
Okay.
extract it and send it
okay.
to everybody.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you. Okay, I think we are ready for our, for Grace. Are we ready? Girls? Grace, are you here?
Yes, I'm
Ah.
here.
We're looking good. Okay, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Excellent.
Okay, well, thank you all again for having me. My name is Grace Consciality. I'm the Solar Outreach Coordinator at the Citizens Utility Board. And today we're just going to quickly go over some program information about Switch Together, specifically within Kane County. You can go to the next slide, please. So Switch Together Chicagoland is led by the MREA, which is the Midwest Renewable Energy Association. Like I mentioned before, I have Yvonne, Corey, and Jeff, who are part of the MREA team on the call today, just in case anyone has any specific questions for them. And they promote renewable energy, energy efficiency, sustainable living through education and demonstration. And the MREA also created Grow Solar, which was a group buy solar program that was run over 60 group buy programs across the Midwest since 2013. And then the Citizens Utility Board, who I'm with, represents Illinois utility ratepayers and advocates for cheaper and cleaner energy. And we have saved more than $20 billion to consumers by fighting proposed electricity, natural gas, and telephone rate hikes. You can go to the next slide, please. And so first, I'm just going to go over the program to date. So the overall program and some numbers regarding those. So number of program registrations is a little bit over 8,600. Of those that have been accepted and paid are a little bit over 2,000. And of those, contracts signed are 740. With those, installs completed are 582. And number of batteries is 47, and EV level 2 chargers is 33.
For what period was that, Grace?
2023 to 2025.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And then you can go to the next slide. And then these are the results located in Kane County. So number of program registrations is a little bit over 1,300. Number of those that were accepted and paid are 297. Number of installs that have been completed are 84. And number of batteries installed are 7. EV fast chargers are 4. And this equates to 2.25 million in total renewable energy investment and $450K in project cost savings.
No.
And then you can go to the next slide, please. So within the Switch Together program, some key responsibilities within Kane County would be approving logo use, actively promoting the program on county communication channels. So for example, the website, social media, channels like that, and then reviewing and approving the communication materials, along with prepping staff with information about the program to help better facilitate internal questions. And on the MREA Cub iChooser side, we will draft communication materials and planning, provide the website for registration and personal recommendations, provide customer service, deal with the qualified installers with selecting and also managing them. With that, reporting program results to the county regularly, and assume all direct costs for marketing, installer management, and customer care. You can go to the next slide, please. So next, I just want to touch on heat pumps, which is another group buy program that MREA, iChooser, and possibly CUB will be running. I'll first go over the program process, which is similar to the solar process that Kane County has obviously already gone through. So registration is free, no obligation. The website looks very similar to Switch Together Solar. So you'll receive and review a personal recommendation. If you accept that offer, you'll pay a $150 refundable reservation fee. You'll then get with an installer, a vetted installer, and schedule and complete that consult, and then proceed with contracting, permitting, and install. You can go to the next slide. So next I want to touch on, so iChooser administered 2 heat pump pilots in 2025, one in the town of Erie in Colorado and also Howard County in Maryland. And both of these campaigns leveraged a combination of targeted emails to Switch Together Solar participants in those targeted areas. Also direct mailers targeted to single family homes, similar to the solar direct mailers. And along with that, email and newsletter announcements from local government partners. So for example, the counties. And it was found that specifically in Erie, Colorado, which is the Boulder County area, there was showed a strong interest and demand for cold climate heat pumps. And so within the 500 households registered, 80 households did receive and install. So next, I just want to touch on the program calendar. So for Switch Together heat pumps, spring 2026, signups will be between March and May. With Switch Together Solar Plus Battery for the summer, signups will be between April and August. And the signups for the second group for solar and battery, which will be the fall group, will be August to November. And then for the heat pump program in the fall of 2026, signups will be between October and December. And then next, I'm going to talk about, quickly go over some rough estimates of dates of events and info sessions. So for the heat pump info sessions, are planned to be around April 2026. We are also planning on having a solar celebration the week of April 27th. I'm still working on getting that planned and getting a venue, but essentially, to celebrate people that have gone solar through the program, and we'll hopefully have somebody has been through the program that can speak to that. And also we'd love the counties to be involved with that as well. And next, the solar power hours, which we've done the past 2 years, will be around May, June, and July, but beginning of all those months. And then the heat pump info sessions for the second program will be around October. Thank you, everyone. I know that was kind of quick. Please let me know if anyone has any questions, concerns. And again, I have Jeff, Corey, Yvonne from the MREA here, and then Fred from iChooser.
Questions? Mr. Gripe.
Thank you, ma'am. Great presentation. A whole bunch of numbers, which you went through very well, but I don't know that I'm in a position, or others might be, of saying, okay, that's good. Okay, that's great. Okay, it's not so good. In any of the numbers and things that you were sharing, is there some kind of yardstick we can use to say any of this, that it's great, or we're behind where we should be, anything like that?
Yeah, I think Fred, if you could touch on that. I think Fred works more with the numbers. If not, I can also take it, but yeah, if that's okay, Fred.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Grace. Thanks for the question. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that. To put this in some context, a lot of what we look at is what households end up going through and actually participating all the way through with the program. So in that case, folks who signed up for the program in King County here, you had over 1,300 households sign up. It's pretty free, and it is definitely free, and it's easy to sign up. It doesn't take very long. But you had close to 300 households go through and talk with an installer. So that 22% paid acceptance rate is right on target for what we would hope for in terms of our program experience. So I think that's one very positive sign. And then, of course, not every household that talks to their installer ends up wanting to do the install right away, let's say, or with this particular program round. But yeah, 84 households all the way through, and really hopefully save money getting solar battery and or EV charging at their house while doing it with some of their neighbors. So overall, strong participation there in Kane County. So thank you all very much.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. This is how I got my solar panels. It was in 2019. So I was I was a little earlier of an adapter or mid adapter. And I have people ask me all the time, especially when the solar guys were going door to door trying to sell solar. I would tell everyone who asked me, go to Cub's website, go to the MREA, find out about their solar switch program. Not only that, but it's a little different than when I did it. But I am turn on my camera here so I can talk to Fred better. But when we did it, I got a rebate check of $1,200 just for being in the Solar Switch program. But when you join the Solar Switch program, you know that all of your installers have been vetted by Cub and the MREA. So it's cheaper, you save money, and you're getting reliable installers because you don't want to fly by night. I mean, you've got Cub behind you. So when your constituents ask you, who should I have do my solar installation? This is the deal. So, but you want them to get in on the dates to sign up. So, so yay Cub. Any more
Madam
questions?
Chair?
Go ahead.
I just thought with Miss Allen here, we do have quorum, so we can go back and.
Okay, we'll do that in a minute
Okay,
then.
that's fine.
I have a question. Any other questions? Oops. that
After
looks
you,
funny.
Mavis, go ahead.
I do have a question, Mavis. Ted
Oh,
Pettis.
yeah, Ted, sorry, I guess you've been.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know if Fred can answer this, but heat pumps, can you explain a little bit more about that? And I'm assuming that works like with your existing HVAC system. Just explain a little bit more about what heat pumps are and what the costs are involved.
Sure. So I'm not an HVAC expert or practitioner myself, but yeah, heat pump provides both heating and cooling. So it's a very efficient system. Our main program proposal or project that we're promoting would be replacing your and or supplementing your gas furnace with a heat pump. It can also replace your air conditioner too, if that's needed.
Replace your what?
Your air conditioner, if you
Yeah.
have one already and or would like to add.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's poorly named in terms of like me using it as a air conditioner in Texas, let's say, which it can do very well. But yeah, it can pump heat in or out of your house very efficiently, more efficient than your traditional gas furnace or your central air conditioner. So that'll be the main offer. We'll do a similar thing where we go out to local experienced HVAC companies in this case. We'll vet them, ask them to bid really a turnkey heat pump installation for households in King County.
Any guesstimate, like on a standard house, let's just say 2,000 square feet, about what the cost would be?
I can tell you what we experienced a bit in Colorado. I know that
the equipment and labor and installation costs will vary quite a bit by local market. But we did our pilot in the Boulder County area, and a 3-ton heat pump, cold climate, very efficient Mitsubishi system cost about $21,000 was the total project cost with the group discount.
Was what?
Was the total expected cost that was inclusive of the group discount. So $21K was what a heat pump was presented to cost. Again, turnkey installation for some of those Boulder County households.
And that included the group discount was 21,000?
That included the group discount. Yeah. In general, a new HVAC system is not inexpensive anyways. A highly efficient heat pump is going to be a bit more, but yeah, that's the whole point, is the efficiency will pay for itself.
What's the life expectancy, Fred?
That's another good question. I believe it's 10 to 15 years. It's going to be the same durability expectations as whatever those existing systems are now, your gas furnace or your AC system. So yeah, it's kind of like solar at this point, which is pretty highly commercialized technology. We're trying to increase the ability for households to be able to adopt it, access it, be aware of it. And in this case, yeah, we need to certainly encourage HVAC companies to promote heat pumps where the opportunity is right for the household. In our experience, a lot of HVAC companies are going to come in and replace like for like. And so if you have a traditional air conditioning system and or a traditional gas furnace, they're probably going to come in and give you the newest version of those things, which there's nothing terribly wrong with that, but a heat pump may be a much more efficient and cost-effective solution for some households.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Young.
Just to,
I have a follow-up on that question from Ted. So thank you for Ted for those questions. The heat pump itself, I have a couple of questions. 3. 1, you said it's more efficient than a high efficiency furnace. Okay, I don't know what that exactly means, but if you could equate to that in terms of, like say, cost to run it. For example, my bill, ComEd bill with my high efficiency furnace was, well, I have 2 furnaces, but it was like $400 last month. Okay. 2, what do you do for air conditioning if you just have a heat pump? And then 3 kind of goes back to question number 1, is that if I'm going to spend $21,000 for a heat pump and it's going to last 10 years, same as in my high efficiency furnace, I guess you'd have to take a look at the payback. If your heat now is going to only cost you $50 a month, then yeah, I think that would be worth it. But if you can comment on what I just said.
Yes, thank you for that question. And this will admittedly be one where I'll struggle a little bit. It definitely is going to vary by household. And certainly in the case of question 1 is switching from heating to electric heating does have the potential to not save you a lot of money. So
in the utility bill, you mean?
In your utility bill,
okay.
Depending on your gas usage and or your costs, not specifically familiar with what y'all are paying there, versus what you pay for electricity, you would be switching to electric heating essentially, primarily. On the AC side, let me comment on that, and I bet there will be some follow-up questions on the first response, which is fair. What I meant to say is, yeah, the heat pump provides both air conditioning and heating. So it would replace your central air conditioning system that you would currently have. And efficiently so.
You're not a good salesman, Fred.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm not intending to sell.
You're not trying
I'm not
to
intending
sell,
to sell y'all heat pumps.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Is that Cheryl? Oh,
Yes.
yes, go ahead, please.
I could get the numbers so I could talk to our committee. But we do have solar panels on our home, and we did go to a heat pump, I think in March. And we replaced our high efficiency furnace and our air conditioning with heat pump units, and we are very happy with the results. Like I said, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I could get those to report back to the committee. But we did it. It did not cost us $21,000, thankfully. But I'd be happy to put those numbers together and bring them to the committee.
That would be great, Ms. Strathman.
Okay.
We have a big old Victorian house and 2 furnaces, upstairs, downstairs. And our upstairs furnace broke. And so we went through a lot of research on whether or not to do a heat pump or to do a regular gas furnace. We ended up getting a high efficiency gas furnace, which is now in our basement. We have 2 huge air conditioners by the side of the house. When either of those breaks, heaven forbid, we plan to put a heat pump in place of the air conditioner, which would be a supplement to our gas furnaces, possibly somewhat replace the gas. But that was our decision for now. So it's a complicated issue. And but Cheryl, that would be great if you could bring us some numbers. Mr.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why would you switch? I mean, why would someone switch to a heat pump if it's going to cost more and you're not going to save money in your utility? Is there a good reason why?
Well, I'll tell you why I would do it, partly to save money, but also to save on emissions to help stop climate change.
Okay.
Because this is greenhouse gas you're emitting when you use a gas furnace, and the heat pump is all electric.
And Madam
Looks
Chair,
like ComEd, according to the document that Grace sent, offers a $6,000 incentive to get the heat pump. So that's going to bring down the cost of installation.
and Madam Chair, it was time. Our current unit was living out its life expectancy, and it was time to think about how we were going to change. And that was part of the reason we went to the heat pump. That was part of the reason we changed. And in doing our research, it was also part of the emissions that we wanted to help be a good steward, that we went to the heat pump. But we are very happy with the whole.
Are you saving money? do you
Oh,
think?
yes. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Well, and also because we have solar panels.
Uh-huh.
So I will bring those numbers in.
Okay, thanks.
Mm.
And so incentives are usually a big piece of
Mhm.
what's happening with green energy. Fred, do you have, or Grace, do you have numbers on the incentives? I see it's put up right here. Can you talk us through this fine print?
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna so as a solar outreach coordinator, I'm more knowledgeable in the solar aspect, but I just sent a message to our decarbonization coordinator, who is more knowledgeable in the heat pumps. So just if she has like a quick list of helpful things, I can send that over. But in general, Cub's website has a plethora of heat pump content, along with, I believe we do have, I have to confirm, but a presentation, electrification presentation from it would have been 2025, just because, you know, we're pretty early in 2026. But I can also send over some more heat pump information to either Sarah or Cash once I receive some more straightforward answers, if that makes sense.
Okay, Mr. Roth?
On heat pumps, I know we did Jody did a presentation last year. There's 2 types, right? There's one that just uses the air, and the other where you bury a pipe, and that's a lot more efficient, but also a lot more expensive, right?
Yeah, the other type is called a mini split, and it does basically the same thing with the air, and so that type of unit is significantly less expensive than the full ground where you're drilling a horizontal or a vertical well that would take the ground heat and exchange it. But the ground temperature is much more consistent than your outside temperature. And so if you go the mini split direction, it will struggle during those extreme temperature
days,
events. But
right.
if you're only talking a few days a year and you need to maybe put a sweater on, that's some people will, the benefits of it year round. I know the one case study I was looking at for a mini split was in Michigan. So they have very similar climate to us. And they had reduced their heating bills in the winter by almost $400 by going to a mini split. And some people don't like the look of the mini split. It's going to be a unit that sits basically and blows air into your house. So you kind of have, again, as Mr. Young points out, it's going to really depend on your house, and you need to look at for your individual situation what might make most sense. Like, are both your heater and your air conditioner going out at the same time? Then you might be looking at other options. Are you fully electrified now, or are you using, as Mavis said, gas for one and then electric for the other? And then what is your return on investment, and how fast, based on the life of the equipment, how fast would you get that payback? But that's really going to vary. How much insulation do you have in your house? How compartmentalized your house is? How old your house is? You need to run all those numbers, and that's where CUB kind of comes in with these programs. Is they give you that information and they run those numbers for you, so you can make a decision on whether that actually is a cost-effective option for you or not. In many homes, it's not going to be. In other homes, it may be. So it's always good if you're considering replacing your air conditioner, your heater, you kind of look at all options and your return on investments on those options.
And then a follow-up, is this grant for either type or only the?
That would be a question for CUB. Does the heat pump program cover mini splits?
It does. Thank you. I was just about to put that into the chat. So this covers centrally ducted systems as well as ductless systems. It'll be a quote unquote mini split, which is that wall mounted type unit, or one that'll go through your typical ventilation system and ducts, your typical forced air system. Right.
I think I had read that mini splits are more for more mild climates too.
They've actually proved out, and I have a friend that's in Upper Michigan, and they've proved out up there. The Michigan Technological University had done a study with them, and that's a pretty extreme climate. And again, you're going to have a handful of days where, you know, the polar vortex comes in. The mini split's not going to be able to keep up with that. But if you're looking at the savings overall and you're willing to be uncomfortable for a number of days where it's going to maybe be 60 in your house instead of 72, certainly a great technology to look at.
Yeah, thank you.
Put on a sweater.
Fireplace.
Ms. Ryan.
Marka.
I was just gonna say that the office trailer at the Fabian Parkway Recycling Center is heated and cooled with a mini split. And yeah, that's kind of what they find is like those extreme, like 100-degree days, and then the polar vortex days. It's not comfy in there, but otherwise it's all right.
So that's why you only go over when it's over 40? No, just kidding.
Right. Yeah.
Mr. Gripe.
Yeah, two questions. I noticed in the notes or the chat that comment said, correct, the program would be for air source heat pumps, not geothermal heat pump systems, which conflicts with what we were just saying.
I can't keep up with the chat, so whatever is going on there.
No, sorry if I confounded the situation, but no, a geothermal heat pump will have piping into the ground and use essentially the earth to help exhaust heat. These are going to be
animal.
Yeah, that's a different animal is a good way to put it. This will use a typical refrigerant like your air conditioner does now to help move heat in or out of your home.
Okay, so Cub and MREA, if I can give you a little feedback, this talk has been more about why not to do this than why to do it. That's my feedback to you, and I'm your biggest supporter. So I think we need to work together on this or something. Mr. Gripe?
Yeah, very good point, Mavis. I think one of the things that, like, we looked at solar years ago and it was like 60 some thousand for our house. There was a $38,000 tax credit, and I think those are going bye-bye. So we had to say, is that difference, you know, and the longevity, how long we're going to stay in the house. So tax credits would be a big part of helping people see that whatever they are now. Yeah.
So I see you put up something in the fine print of the rebates. Well, so I'm going to tell my story about this just to stay somewhat encouraging. And I don't know what the rebates are today, but when I put my system in, the total cost is going to be $17,500 with the federal tax credits, the SREC, solar renewable energy credits, and the group buy credits. It ended up being about $6,000. So my ROI was maybe about 5 or 6 years, which at that point, I didn't care. I wanted solar panels so badly. But I don't know what to say about this. It doesn't.
Mavis, would it be of interest to this committee for us to come back in a few months with a guest speaker to discuss this and clarify this topic?
I think that's what we're going to have to do.
Okay.
This was
because I've been reading studies as well talking about heat pumps that you can almost like plug into your port, and they're only a couple $1,000s. And I think this falls under the discussion that we have in the SMART goals about this being an emerging trend or emerging technology, kind of like solar, whereas it gets better, it gets cheaper.
Yeah, Cub and MREA, you've got us all so not wanting to do this that I don't know, is that the impression everybody got, or am I just having a bad day here?
Maybe,
Mr.
Madam
Young?
Chair, in the end, the market is going to decide, which is the consumer, whether or not this is going to be good for them or not. So it doesn't matter. It's good that we're actually talking about this because we're talking about the pros and cons. Is it expensive? It doesn't matter if it's expensive. Do you want it? So I think it's good that we're talking about this. And that's all I have to say. But some people want to do it because you're like, for example, you and Ms. Strathman thought that you wanted to have that for your reasons, for the environmental reasons. Other people will look at it completely as a financial and say, okay, what's the payback for me? How long am I going to even be in this house? So it'll be part of the discussion when Austin comes back.
Well, I know when we looked at the heat pump situation for our house, and we did decide to go with a new gas furnace, highly efficient gas furnace, but we really do plan, if we ever need to replace our air conditioners, we'll definitely get a heat pump. And that will supplement the gas furnace in the wintertime. It'll replace the air conditioner. It'll be not that expensive. I can't remember what it was, but it was not $21,000. So, okay, Austin, can you follow up on this for me and dig us out of this hole?
Yes.
I feel like we've dug. Okay.
Madam Chair, one more thing from Cheryl.
Cheryl, go ahead.
I joke all the time about being Scotch Irish, i.e. cheap. And it was trying to be a good steward, but it was also, it was a savings for us in the long run. Our rate of return has been, it's been really good for us. So I will include those numbers when I bring my report to the committee.
Cheap is good. So
Yeah.
Sarah
think
and
so.
Austin and Jody, will you follow up with Cub and MREA and come back with a better story for us? Okay, thank you, Grace. I think we're done here.
Point of order.
I couldn't.
Point of
see
order,
that.
Madam Chair. Could we do roll call, and since we don't have a quorum,
Roll call. Oh, yes.
we haven't done that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Cub and MREA. We're going to follow up with you. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Alan?
Alan present, finally.
Yep. Caius?
Caius remote.
Genesis?
Genesis remote.
Strathman?
Strathman remote.
Young?
Here.
Tarver? Bates?
Okay, Roth.
Roth is here.
All right, we have a quorum. Very good. Okay,
Remote attendance requests.
remote attendance. We have remote attendance requests from Caius, Penesis, and Strathman.
No problem.
No problem that we have consensus that that's okay. Thank you, Madam Secretary. We did public comment. Okay, so
Minutes.
let's
Have to approve the minutes.
minutes. Thank you.
Alan
May I have a motion to
Go ahead, Ms.
Alan requests unanimous consent of the minutes of.
do we have unanimous consent
Yes,
to
no
accept the
problem.
minutes from December 12th? Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Excellent. Then we move on to our SMART goals. Is that
I will just add that we made some final tweaks to the SMART goals that were previously presented to the committee. We're just looking for a voice approval of those final goals, and we will commit the summary of those goals to the top of the agenda. The ones that are listed on our current agenda are from 2025. So we will update that upon approval by the committee. And Austin, did you have anything else to add?
Just to clarify that the only addition here for this month is in the third category, community outreach to educate about the CAP. It's the bottom bullet point there about identifying and promoting solar success stories in King County, just to get the word out more of those successes and for folks to talk about how it's benefited them or not.
excellent? And I think this fourth bullet item, notify the King County Board of any relevant or emerging trends. Data centers have blindsided the whole world. At least they blindsided me. They blindsided Sierra Club, the Illinois Clean Energy Coalition. All of our energy usage was going down, 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 and now all of a sudden it's going up, up, up. So we feel like the Energy and Environmental Committee should be facilitating and helping the board to understand these issues.
Yeah.
So we've added that and to help support solar here in King County. So we don't need a voice vote on that, just a few nods of the heads that we're headed in the right direction. Okay, wonderful. Okay, is there now we're going to move to the Fabian Parkway solar field.
Before we do, one
We have
comment.
Pardon me?
One comment.
Yes.
I found that article. It was the editorial last Sunday in the Tribune. I downloaded it and I emailed it out to everybody.
Okay, thank you. And what was the subject? It was just about data centers? Or
Here's the title. What to do about the coming data center electricity crunch was the title on the
Good.
editorial.
I mean, pretty much you open any newspaper and that's the headlines these days. So thanks. Thanks a lot.
Did you want a voice approval on the goals?
Yes, I would like on the goals. Yes. Do we have a voice approval on the goals to adopt them for the 2026 goals, and they'll appear at the top of our agendas from now on?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, the goals are approved. And I want to thank the staff, everybody who helped me, we all helped each other come up with these goals, and we worked quite a bit to refine them and make them meaningful for the committee and for the board. So thank you for that. Okay, Fabian Property Solar Field discussion.
Thank you. Jody Walnick, Director of Environmental and Water Resources on this item. The Fabian Parkway solar discussion that was had at the Committee of the Whole in December. We just wanted to continue to have a line item on the agenda for any updates on that presentation. And so we did receive some great feedback from the Committee of the Whole meeting in December. One of the large concerns that came up with that discussion was the extent of the potential contamination issues on the site, due to the previous, jail on the site. There was a ammunition, bunker as well as a, firing range. And through Roger Fonstock and building management, they have reached out to White and Company to do a site visit out there and look at those areas of potential contamination and get a proposal from White to better understand if the cleanup efforts based on the numbers we've gotten from other type similar situations are in the millions of dollars, which in this case might potentially be more than the property is worth. So we'd like to get a better an idea of what the extent of that contamination is on the property and what potential impacts to any kind of marketing or future improvements on the property would be. So we're going to work with Roger on that, and we'll be reporting back to the committee. One of the other items that came up is specifically from Mr. Roth. Was looking at any and all options for this property. That's really a black hole of our understanding. So if anyone had suggestions on items or suggestions on what this property could be used for, other than what was presented at the committee of the whole, we're certainly open to investigating them. The one suggestion that did come from the committee of the whole was parking for the Cougar Stadium, and looking into that. We could not figure out how that would possibly be feasible. It's over a 1.75 miles away from the stadium. You'd have to walk through a golf course and around Settlers Hill to get there. So it'd have to be some sort of a shuttle bus. And then the need for parking at the Cougars is another thing, and who would build the parking. So we've kind of shelved that as a potential option. I didn't hear any other suggestions on options that might need to be looked into, but certainly send them my way and we'll do our best to vet them out and determine if it's something we need to bring back to this committee. So that's my report.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ms. Wolnick. Mr. Roth.
The parking would be remote parking, and it'd be require a shuttle bus. We did have last year, what was that one concert where a couple, I don't know, maybe close to 100 cars were parked over in the neighborhood, and we got a lot of bad press. So if they continue to expand, which they're looking to do, it may be needed to be resolved. The other thing too, I wanted to mention, are we concerned about leakage in the future? Because I believe DuPage got sued big time with one of their one of their dumps, because it started leaking in all the neighborhoods, subdivision, then sued them. So if we're thinking of selling it, aren't we adding a risk to that? Because now we've sold it to someone that's going to turn around and sue us.
There's no portion of the property that's on the landfill, and the groundwater direction is to the northeast away from this property.
Because I know in the presentation that you did show well monitoring to the west.
Yes, that's standard for landfills.
understand.
But at the time they hadn't done a detailed groundwater study, but now that we have the groundwater data, it's not heading in that direction.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Lewis.
Yeah, not on the committee, but I like the committee.
Honorary.
Honorary, yes. The study that White and Company is going to do, is that going to cost us?
That's where we would get a proposal from them. So that would come back to the board before any action is taken on it.
Okay.
Proposal for the study?
Yeah, it's considered a phase 2 environmental study. The phase 1 was previously done. So they'll be basing their proposal on the phase 1 report that identified those 2 areas of potential contamination.
Okay. Yeah, because my only thought was, how much money do we want to spend if we really aren't going to sell it or aren't going to move forward? So it's kind of like, what we don't know might not hurt us if we're just going to keep it. And the other thing is, I think I understand why this whole project came to E&E because of the solar fields, but I think the bigger discussion of what we're going to do with it in the end probably needs to go to admin. Yeah.
Admin is has their eye on us. So, I mean, we're working with admin on this, right, Mr. Caius?
Is that
yes, that's correct. We are working on a policy and procedures for we don't have a standard policy for purchasing or disposing of property, so we're working on that right now. That's our next step, I believe.
And the
Colonel
lead
Fisker.
contamination study would go through admin, correct? With Mr. Fonstock and you in charge? Or
I
Ms.
believe
Wolnick?
that's correct, yes. I
Okay.
believe that's correct, yeah.
So it's a very interesting question about the contamination and the cost of remediation, because as JLL told us, our broker told us, the land could be sold for maybe $2 million, I think. If the remediation is $2 million, it's ridiculous. It's not doable. But if we put solar panels on there, we don't have to do the remediation. And then it becomes a brownfield site, which, and solar could become the highest and best use for that land. So it's a very interesting question. And another thing that JLL said that was, I thought very interesting was, some people might want to put a resort there. Some people might want to put anything, a ballet, I don't know. I can't think of what could go there. But like JLL said, this piece of property is an island as far as services, meaning a residential developer is not going to want to put 50 houses there. There's nothing there for them to enjoy. It's not like being close to downtown Geneva. So no, and what he also said was, we're not writing the checks for a resort. We're not writing the checks for a community of residents. That takes a developer's interest. And according to our experts, JLL, whom they said they're the second largest brokerage firm in the world, and I heard their name on the radio yesterday talking about something. I think I'm happy to trust our experts on this and what is the best and highest use for this land. So let's get this lead contamination question settled, and then we'll bring it back to E&E. We'll bring it back to the entire board. Remember that putting this land into solar will put it onto the tax rolls. It will give us maybe $100,000 in, help me, Jody, $100,000 in electric savings for the county, and it'll help the rest of the county reduce our electricity rates through the community solar projects that would go there, which reduces electricity rates by 10% just by signing up. So I think I'm done. Okay, let's move on. Anything else anybody wants to add? Okay. Recycling.
Hello. I don't have slides today, just a few quick updates. So I'll start with a fun fact. The manager of eWorks let me know that this Christmas, post-Christmas season, the Fabian Recycling Center had a historic number of TVs and consumer electronics come in, both for itself as a site, like way more volume than in past years, but also compared to other sites in the area. We don't really know why. He was asking me if some other collector closed, and I couldn't come up with anything. I'm not aware of anyone else closing. So we've been busy. Battery recycling. So we've had a presentation last fall, I think, from an organization called Call to Recycle. They actually just rebranded, and their new name is the Battery Network. They started implementing the Battery Stewardship Act on January 1st. I haven't done a lot of outreach or announcements about it yet because I don't want to speak ill of anyone, but it's off to a little bit of a rough start. The Battery Network was primarily relying on their corporate partners, which are Staples, which we don't have one in King County, and then Home Depot and Lowe's as their battery collection partners. And what that means for Home Depot and Lowe's is that they're going to transition from only accepting rechargeable batteries like power tool batteries, essentially for the things that they sell, to all portable batteries. And they negotiated that at the corporate level with those big corporations, but it hasn't quite trickled down to the store level in the way that we would have hoped. So kind of what I'm doing is I'm expecting a delivery of battery collection supplies so we can help and we can make it available at the Fabian Recycling Center. We'll also have more battery boxes here at the county building, but in terms of people dropping off, we're really going to try and encourage them to primarily go to Fabian because it is a recycling center. And yeah, that delivery should be next week. I'm also going to do battery collection at the circuit clerk's office for our February 28th Shred and Recycle event. Last quick announcement is just about the green guide. I think I mentioned that before, possibly at our last meeting. So it is a little delayed this year, due primarily to the PDF version having to meet the new ADA requirements. So I'm working with a consultant that's going to be able to get us there. And I'm hoping, so we should have it printed and ready to be mailed out by mid-February, which is way later than I'd hoped, but there's really not a lot I can do about it. And we will be able to put it online at the same time, and we will have an ADA compliant version, so we don't have to pull it down in April. And I think that's all I have.
Okay.
Any questions?
Who's got the resolution today?
Before we go to that, Mavis?
Yes.
Another comment. There was an article in the Trib within the last week or two about TerraCycles. And one of the things they said, it's brand new and just opening. I didn't catch that when we did the tour, that they were just opening.
I think they're reopening.
Okay, okay.
I think they're having a
Okay.
symbolic.
That's fine.
Symbolic going on.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Hinshaw, I believe.
Good morning again.
Thank you, Ms. Ryan.
So I'm excited to bring this to you. So we talked a few months ago, November, about the program with Batavia. They did the energy audits for residents, and they used it from their bag fee, their single bag fee. And they would do the audits, and then they would give the residents either $1,000 or $2,500, I believe it was, depending on their income level. And we were going to support them, and we gave them, or planning still to give them $20,000 towards their program this year. So now we have come up with our own program. And so we are mimicking that program. So we put out an RFP for an energy auditor, and we got 5 people to respond. The idea is a very similar idea. They are going to do a number of energy audits, and then there's a certain amount of rebate depending on their income that they will give out. It will most likely be $1,000 or $2,500 as well. The exact details just need to be a little more fine-tuned. But we have come across the Craig Schneider, who we've worked with in the past, just on our climate action plan. Again, out of the 5 that we talked to, we interviewed 2. The other one was Aaron's Stash from Electric Home Company, which we will be also incorporating him in a different project that we'll talk about next month when we get a little more details on that one. But we're excited. We're hoping to run this program throughout the year. We're hoping that if it's successful, that we'll continue to do it. The idea, but I believe, is 25 homes. And again, about $35,000 will be going back to the residents after the energy audits themselves for any kind of improvements that they do.
Okay. So, are there any, may I have a motion?
Ellen moves.
Ellen moves. Mr. Young, would you second, please? Okay. All right. Is there any discussion, questions?
Is there a second?
I thought you said yes. You, no?
Seconded.
Then I need a second, Mr. Ross.
Also second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on this? Mr. Young?
A lot of David Young, a lot of discussion on this from me. So this Craig Shields guy, I looked at his company. He works out of his house. He is a one employee company. He's been around since like 2020 or something like that. We're going to give him $100,000. Okay. And the $100,000 is actually going to double his income. If you look at the income that he made, that he had to fill out on the form, he made like 100,000 the year before in 2023, 2024. We're going to double his income. So that makes me nervous, and it should make everybody else nervous that you're going to have this one individual do these 25 homes. The other thing that I don't understand is that he is going to be responsible for handing out these rebates. It looks like. How is he going to do that? So I live in unincorporated Elgin, so he's going to come to my home and he's going to suggest that I do A, B, and C. And when you look at an energy audit, the energy audit itself is extensive. It can be extensive and it should be extensive. I mean, you're talking about looking into your attic, your crawl space, you have windows, there's all kinds of things that you can do to check. You have thermal imaging, blower door test, combustion safety, a whole home assessment, visual inspection, all of that. So then that is going to cost a lot of money for someone to actually make their home up to what it should be, to be honest with you. I mean, you're talking windows, doors, ceiling, you maybe need to have your attic. You have to have, I just did this. I removed the insulation, but brand new insulation up into the attic because it gets old. I mean, that's $10,000 itself. And I think that you're discriminating against the people in a certain income category level by only giving them $1,000. Everyone should have the same rebate. And also, if you look at the people that have the money are the people that are going to do the work. The people that don't have money, they're not going to do the work. Okay. So that should be changed. The biggest problem that I have with this is the cost. It's going to be $4,000 per home. I contacted a company called Comfort First out of Rockford. And that was just simple co-pilot, who does these energy audits in my area, and for Comfort First comes up. And their energy audit ranges from a cost of $0 to $200. The $0 cost is basically you fill out information online and then they review it, and that's what it is. The $200 cost is when they actually do a visit to your home. And when they do a visit to your home, they do what I just mentioned. They do a thermal imaging, blower door test, combustion safety, which this Craig isn't going to be doing he's not going to be doing combustion safety where they're detecting gas leaks, whole home assessment. And they're doing that for $200. Craig is doing it for $4,000. Okay. So now I'm saying he's doing it for $4,000 because I'm not counting in the rebate that you may get as a homeowner. So, and then what homeowner is actually going to qualify is going to do these, is going to do this work? I don't know. I mean, what percentage is going to do the work? So I want everyone to vote no against this and do something different and look at something like a Comfort First, where we would actually hire a company, not a one-man operation, that could actually do this work, that has the infrastructure, they have the technology, they have all the software. You notice that this Craig is even on his, he's going to spend $20,000 on a software, $15,000, $20,000 on a special software thing. So I think that when you look at this, it's a good idea because we should ask people to be focused on saving money. I mean, for sure. I mean, the whole thing is saving money and making your house, not just drafty and everything else. I think that's good. But for $100,000 and this price that you could get from a company like Comfort First, you can get so many more homes involved here. So for that reason, I'm going to be voting no against this, but I still think we should look into doing something so that more people have access to this audit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Any other comments? Mr. Roth?
Is there urgency to pass this? Could we do the research on like David's recommendation? See, is it an
We send this
alternative?
back to staff or table it till next month.
We can if you like. I can bring some of the numbers to you. So Craig's audits are 1,200 for each one of his audits. He does do a blower door test. He does do the combustion. He does an exhaust fan. Looking at that, he does give you the greenhouse gas. I can give you a example, or I can bring you one of his audits to review for next time for sure. Yeah.
So if they're $1,200, then, and we're going to do 25 houses, then how does it become $100,000?
So there's administration fee, and then part of it, 35,000 is for the rebates themselves.
Which we will be giving to the homeowners.
Correct.
So that would be the way to allow the help the homeowners do the work.
But that's only if the homeowners do the work. I mean, come on,
Reimbursement basis, isn't it?
Yes,
Most
it's on
of these
reimbursement. Correct.
Reimbursement.
it's only if they do the work though,
You have to do the work to get paid.
to get the reimbursement. So the rebate isn't going to be used on 100% of the 25 homes aren't going to be doing the work.
Well, then they won't get paid. Right? You understand that?
No, that Craig will get paid, but that $35,000 won't get used up.
Right. Then it will go back to us if their residents don't use it. It won't go to Craig directly.
Right. So
Okay, Mr. Gripe?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think what I heard Mr. Young ask for is investigation into, David, what's the name of the?
Comfort First.
Yes, of
Absolutely.
them, not more information, not that that's bad on this provider. So a comparison could be done.
Yep,
May-
absolutely.
Not absolutely. I just might point out that Mavis, this is under the purchasing ordinance. And so we follow the procurement for the county, and Comfort First has an opportunity, just like these other vendors, to submit their proposal to this work. So we can't just go back to a vendor that didn't submit through our purchasing ordinance.
Okay.
So that would be a conversation if we wanted to throw out all of these proposals that we received through our purchasing department and start again and reach out specifically, but they had as much opportunity as these folks did. And we reviewed the proposals against the criteria, and this is the recommended vendor for this. And so what you're asking us to do is to go against the purchasing ordinance.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wolnick.
If I may
So,
also add to this,
pardon me,
if I may also add to this point.
say that again.
If I can also add to this point, please.
Yes.
So what Sarah's trying to propose here with this is that we would hire Craig, for instance, to be the contractor. We would choose, for instance, a low-income household or middle-income household. They would get a very thorough audit, like Sarah mentioned, for $1,200. In the audit to be listed, it would list options they can make to improve the comfort of their home, reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, improve the energy efficiency of their home. The $1,000 to $2,000 that would be offered as a result as a rebate is meant to be a start to that. But the main base of this program is meant to give them a thorough audit that can be used in the future when they have the money to afford or spend it. That's the idea of this program.
Thank you. Thank you for those comments. I feel much more clear about that. Thank you, Sarah, also. So I think what Ms. Wolnick, what I would translate or what I would add is you can't just get a guy to do the audit. He has to pass through our purchasing procedures. It was an RFP. They responded with, so these are qualified and vetted providers. Who had their hand up over here?
I did.
Mr. Roth.
You said you did how many other responses did you get?
As Sarah noted, 5.
Okay.
2 of them were interviewed. And the most qualified ones were both Aaron, as well as she mentioned, is a one-man show. Frankly, when most people have home inspections, a lot of times it is a one-man show. And so these are subject matter experts in their field. Craig has run the program for Batavia for how many years, Sarah?
Just the 1 year so far.
1 year, and we had Batavia in here, that their program has been incredibly successful, and they're getting exceedingly more applications and a lot of positive feedback from Craig's work in Batavia. So we have a very local example for him of the audits that he's done, and he has gone above and beyond for the citizens of Batavia that have received these audits. And we'll continue to work with them and take their phone calls and walk them through on how to do weather stripping and sealing, so they can go to their local Home Depot and buy the equipment and do the weather stripping and stuff themselves if they'd like to. So he really is very hands-on, and he spends hours and hours with these homeowners to improve their properties.
Okay.
So that's why he kind of rose to the top when we were doing the interviews and the evaluations, is he's very, very committed to working with the homeowners and spending the time necessary. He's not a large corporation. He is a single guy, and this is his bread and butter, and he wants to do the best for the community to help homeowners improve their properties. And we really saw that through the interview process.
Thank you, Ms. Womack. And the $100,000 is definitely not going into his pocket.
No, in the software that was mentioned is going to be accessible by the county. So we can then take hold of the program once the $100,000 is spent, and help to direct homeowners to do these type of audits on their own. So it will be a long-term benefit to the county.
Thank you very much. Mr. Roth.
I think
Oh,
we're getting.
we got to watch the clock.
I know.
here.
I think we're getting in the weeds to question the whole purchasing thing. That's the departments. But just a quick question. You had 5, the other 3 you didn't interview. What, did they get disqualified for some reason?
Yes, there was various reasons. Mostly the criteria that we had requested, they did not pull through and actually do the
Submit it.
criteria we
Okay.
asked. Yeah.
And so to my point is, that's the department's responsibility to do the purchasing. Unless we have a lot of information to challenge that, I don't think we should waste our time.
Okay, let's, please, somebody call the question.
I'll call the roll.
I have
I'll let David answer.
Your hand
just
up.
one quick comment. This really bothers me. We need to change the purchasing, because you're going to be missing out. This Craig Schneider is a friend of you, and you've worked with him, so you've known him, and he actually has your same beliefs. I mean, he's the co-chair for the Naperville Environmental Sustainability Task Force, and his goals line up with the climate action plan you guys have laid out that only 800 people signed up for. So, you know, that's the other thing that bothers me too, is that you're using a guy that has your same ideology. I mean, this guy wants to, here's his goal from Nest: align with other governments and reduce carbon pollution by 50%, transition to clean electricity, build energy efficiency, electric vehicles, safe active mobility, meaning biking, rolling, and walking. I mean, he probably helped you guys write the clean action plan. Okay. So that's the other reason why I have a problem with this guy, but it doesn't matter. That's just me talking. So this is probably going to go through. It doesn't matter. Everyone else is going to vote for this except me. So we can call the question.
We'll find out. Okay,
Yeah,
call
we
the
will.
question. Miss Allen?
Alan, before we call the question, can you break it down a little bit for me? We're talking about spending about $100,000 out of this fund.
Mhm.
And we're talking about, is it like 55 going to our consultant and 35 going to the homeowners who use the advice? Is that kind of the breakdown?
So the actual audits are 1,200 apiece. I don't have the budget sitting in front of me, but they're 1,200, and the idea was to do 25. And then his administration fee, of course, which I believe was 20%, which is pretty standard. And then $35,000 directly to the homeowners themselves, correct?
Thank you.
We did call the question. Oh,
One
Mr.
final,
Roth?
that 100,000, it's not out of general fund, right?
That's correct. It's
Okay.
out of the electric aggregation fund that was that civic contribution that was specifically identified to go back to the residents for the purpose of energy efficiency that will save them bills on their electric and gas bills.
So this is a trial project
Yeah.
to see how it flies
And-
It's
and an
2
appropriate use.
years.
over 2 years.
2 years.
Okay,
100,000, 2 years. 200,000.
somebody please put me out of my misery and call the question.
I'll call the question.
Thank you very much. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Please call the roll.
Alan,
Alan, I.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Genesis,
Genesis, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Young,
No.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Roth.
I'm going to abstain at this point since you have the
Oh,
necessary votes.
That's a no.
Okay.
Hey, you've done it before too, so that's a point of order. That's not a proper
No,
comment.
no, that was very improper on my part. But thank you very much, everybody. I apologize for being rude. All right, are we almost? Poor Miss Anita Lewis is there. Okay.
I'm enjoying the show.
I can get through this quickly if you'd like me to, or we can do this next month, whichever one you want.
Farm Weatherization Rebate Program.
Yeah, I can get through this quickly if you'd
Yeah,
like me to.
yeah, we could do it next month. So we
Oh.
can spend some time.
Yeah,
on it.
it's totally fine.
Okay, thank you. We want to be mindful of the time. New business. Okay,
Too quick. I brought up last month. I think we need to rework the tree ordinance. And Forest Reserve has some comments that would help. And so you need to reach out to them.
all right, let's talk about that. If you think it's,
And we can do it next month. I mean, this meeting's been running long, so I want to wrap it up. And the second one, I know you're working on tightening up for solar fields. I think we need to push to get that done sooner than later because we keep getting requests for solar fields.
okay,
And I think we have to tighten up some of our requirements.
The landscaping.
Yes, well, that's just one part of it, but yes.
okay, great. I apologize.
And there again, that we can address, but
I'm going to apologize.
I'm going to keep
again
bringing
for
that up
being
every
out.
month, so.
Let's see, my comments were just about the data centers, how they have blindsided the whole renewable energy field. So I would like to also have a discussion soon about battery backup because of the discussion about that the sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow, but batteries are the way of the future there. And so thank you for all of your hard work to the staff. Thank you, Mr. Young, for your hard work on your public speaking. And thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Oh, Mavis, I can give you an update on what Mr. Roth just said. The development, I'm on a mini committee through development that is working on new standards for solar vegetation, obstruction, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So don't worry about it. We'll get back to you.
Okay, so maybe we'll get a report from development.
Reports on file. I'll make a motion for unanimous approval.
Have unanimous approval on that.
There's no attorney here, so there's no closed session. No, but there's no need for closed session, is there, Mr.?
No need for closed session.
I'm just jumping.
Curing large,
Right. I'm just trying to wrap up the meeting
okay.
and then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Strathman
Mr. Young,
will
can I get a
second.
Second.
Strathman.
Everybody.
All in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Aye.